Alright, Shalom. First off, give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kadash, the Barnabas to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and in sincerity, and the women and the children who follow. So, got a couple articles here I wanted to go over in the video I wanted to play concerning the vaccinations and how they're not mandating it, but making it so that you can't operate within society. And these are all articles and videos that came out this week. And this is a drum that I know us as a group have been saying for a while. But me personally, I've really been beating this drum hard because I believe that this is how it's going to be. You know, that's what my faith is telling me, that pretty soon here, we're not going to be able to operate in society as we have been, these past years. That's coming to a point that if you don't have this vaccination, if you're not, going or moving with this beast system, then you're going to be excommunicated. You're going to be on the outs looking in. So, first article I have is from Axios. Let me see if I can get a date on it. Don't have a date, but it should be from this week. Here it goes. It says from 17 hours ago. So, as you can see, it's Wednesday, December 23rd, 10:15 Central Time. So this is from today, 17 hours ago. It says why Americans will be demanding proof of vaccination. You received a coronavirus vaccination, but can you prove it? The answer to that question will help determine how global economies function for the next few years. Why does it matter? The federal government will probably neither mandate nor encourage digital immunity passports or other proofs of vaccination. But privately operated digital certificates are already being developed. The U.S. law means that anyone who gets vaccinated here should be able to obtain the proof that they need. So, what you're saying is, for federal reasons or for government proof, you don't need it. But in the private sector, they're developing it because you're going to need it. You're going to need it if you want to go to a store, which is privately owned. You're going to need it to go to your job, which is privately owned. You're going to need it to operate in society at these privately owned businesses, so on and so forth. To go to the movies, to go to the zoo, or maybe even a national park. To go to a public park. So that's why it's saying that privately they're still developing these digital certificates, which is eventually going to funnel into the chip. Okay, so the big picture. Your employer has a clear interest in knowing whether you've been vaccinated, as do the immigration staff in any foreign country you want to visit. Many workers, from nursing home aides to opera singers, have a clear desire and even need to be vaccinated before doing their jobs, which means they'll need some kind of proof of vaccination. So what they're saying is exactly what I said. Your employer is going to want to know, okay, can this person come back to work? Are they safe? Or have they been vaccinated? Are they on the path to, quote, ending the virus? Because they look at you, if you're an anti-vaxxer or haven't been vaccinated or going to get vaccinated, that you are slowing up process, so to speak. So your job's going to look at you. It says an opera singer. Yeah, because an opera singer sings opera in front of a large crowd. So they want to make sure that you're not going to give that crowd anything, and that crowd's not going to give you anything. What they're saying, it says those who get vaccinated deserve more freedom. So what they're saying is, if I have a vaccination, I should be able to go into society. I should be able to go to the grocery store and not be hassled. I should be able to go to hop on a plane and go anywhere in the world that I want. I've been vaccinated. I'm cool. I'm safe. I'm not the one who's spreading the disease. So that's their mindset. And that's exactly what I'm saying. That's the reason why they're going to make these passes. They already have the little card saying that you're vaccinated. It's going to get into that here in a moment. But they're going to need something more tangible, which is going to be that RFID chip. It says private companies should be allowed, even encouraged, to protect customers and employees from harm. Exactly what I just said. There's an urgent need to restore confidence in travel and mobility, says Paul Meyer, CEO of the Commons Project, a group attempting to build a global platform for proof of vaccination apps. And so there's an app for that. There's an app for everything. In the movie Songbird, they had an app for testing. So now they want to make an app for proof of vaccination. But what's to stop me from getting the app from my friend or having him putting his information into my phone? It's easy ways around it, which is why they're gonna go to the chip, because you can't fake the chip. The other side, the federal government should discourage the use of vaccination cards or apps for virtually any purpose other than guiding individual medical care. It says, argued Duke University professor Nita Farahany. And the Washington Post says vaccine cards and immunization apps could turn into powerful weapons of exclusion and discrimination, she wrote, which is what I opened up the lesson with. You're going to be excluded from society. And she's just a professor at Duke. They're not going to listen to her. Yeah, they are. This is what it's for. They want to exclude you from society, to force you to get it. Because when you can't go to the grocery store, when you can't fucking pump gas in your car, when you can't go to work, when your kids can't go to daycare, when your kids can't go to school, you're going to be forced to this man's system and to cooperate. Alright, let me get this precept real quick. This is Isaiah 30:1. It says, woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, who taketh counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. That cover that they're covering with, that's not of the Yahweh Shem Yahushai, is Esau. Alright? Esau is their Lord. It says that to go down into Egypt, and to walk and to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. They're trusting in the government. They want you to trust in the government. They want to put you in a position that you have no other choice but to trust in the government, which is why they have all the women on all these programs. And if they want to keep these benefits, they're going to stay on these programs. You're going to take the vaccinations. They ain't used to doing nothing else. You mean to tell me that a woman that's been sitting on her ass, or should I say laying on her back, and having babies, she's going to go up and get a job? Well, guess what? She can't even do that and go get a job, even if she wanted to, because she didn't get vaccinated. So you already 9 times out of 10 don't have no savings. If you're getting state help month in, month out, you're living day to day. You living off of food stamps. The majority of your food in your house is from the food stamps, and the majority of the money in your pocket that you pay, you pay your $25 rent, you pay all the rest of your bills, and you got a little bit else for whatever, and then whoever you fucking at the time got you. But what about when you got to take that vaccination and you got your 4 kids and you don't want to take the vaccination? All right, well, cutting to Section 8, bam, that $25 rent just went up to $900. That $500 in food stamp that you went just waved bye-bye. So now you got to put food in these kids' mouth and your mouth. Daycare, because you don't want the little bastards at the house with you. So, bam, daycare is cut off. You're not getting that Title 20 anymore. And they can't go to school. So they would chew all day, every day, with no money, no food in the refrigerator, and all the bills piling up. And you mean to tell me that she's not going to fold and get the vaccine, much less the chip? If she trusts in Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, she won't. But we all know that that's the very minimum of women. We all know what it really is. Let's get back into this article. Here's the catch. The official documentation that Americans receive upon being vaccinated is little more than a flimsy, easily forged paper card. As Gavi, the Global Vaccination Alliance, notes, that in turn creates concerns that documentation could be fraudulently reproduced. It's easy It's easy to make one, to forge one, to copy one, and then you don't know who's vaccinated and who's not. It says it's a real concern. A recent flight from Russia to China was canceled after more than 100 of the passengers attempted to board with completely identical serologically I'm fucking this word up. Serologic, you see the word. So we're gonna break that word down real quick. It's the study of antibodies in the body serum. Antibodies are a part of the body's immune response to infection. Antibodies that work against SARS and the COVID-19 are usually detectable in the first weeks of infection. So what they did, they used one person who was cool. They used his antibodies, and then they all just copied it and put their name on it, and they found out that it was all the same. Under a microscope, it all looked the same. They were trying to get over on the system. It says between the lines, trustworthy and reliable digital proof of vaccination is not only possible, Meyer tells Axios, it's also quite easy and will almost certainly happen. You damn skippy. It's called the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, a size of the grain of rice in which they want to put into your right hand or your forehead, more likely your right hand. That's the end game. Now, this is definitely a chess match, and we're not at checkmate yet. And we won't be checkmated. The elect won't be checkmated because Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is going to intervene. But these people are still going to put forward their foot to make their new world order as they see it to be. It says government doesn't need to be involved. Well, the government is going to be involved. Who you think is going to mandate? The world is going to mandate it. It says a cause of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free or bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, that he may not buy or sell except that he that hath the mark. It said all, rich and poor, free or bond. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are. If you're a fucking aborigine in the Australian outback, they want you to have it. If you are in the goddamn Amazon River Basin, in a little hut, they want you to have it because they want you to be a slave. Everyone. Do I have to even read more? I got this other article, so I'm gonna put both articles in the description. We're gonna go to this next one. And we're gonna blow up this one too. It says this is from RT.com from today. It says, meet Dr. Tony Blair, warmonger turned vaccination guru and health passport promoter. So, former British Prime Minister Tony Blair is calling for millions to be vaccinated with a single dose in a radical acceleration of the Vax program, and also for the rollout of his health passports. But what exactly is his medical expertise? So he was a prime minister. Why is he pushing for vaccination so hard and health passports? He says, listen to the experts, follow the science, 2 phases we've heard ad nauseum in 2020. But hold on, wait a minute. So if we're going to listen to the experts and follow the science, it's a whole new wave of corona out here. The virus has mutated. And if it's mutated, then any vaccine is not going to stop the new strain, because the vaccine was developed against the old strain. It's like when the new flu comes out, the old flu shot is not effective against it, which I never got a flu shot, and I don't ask you to get a flu shot. But what I'm saying is, it plays no effect. So anyone who gets this old vaccine is only protected against the old strand. So what, now we gotta wait another 9 months for them to develop this new vaccine, which normally vaccines take years to develop. But all of a sudden, Pfizer got a vaccine, and the UK has a vaccine, and Russia has a vaccine, and China has a vaccine, all around the same time, ironically. And you mean to tell me that this is not a pandemic? Come on. Follow the science, right? It says, but who qualifies as an expert or a scientist is highly selective. A whole host of medical and scientific professionals who have argued against lockdowns as an anti-coronavirus strategy have been dismissed as cranks. We saw that quite clearly in the way the distinguished authors of the Great Barrington Declaration were treated. By the way of contrast, those with no qualifications in the science have been elevated as public health gurus simply because they are pro-lockdown and espouse the official narrative. So if you go on with the narrative, it doesn't matter what your history is, whether you went to school to be able to treat the vaccine, or the virus, should I say, or in the medical field anyways. It doesn't matter if you're actually an expert in that. It matters who's going with the narrative. Okay? So with that being said, I'm going to link this into the description. I really wanted to get this precept, but I'm going to show this video first. Give me a second. Alright, here we go.
France is preparing to end its health emergency by April the 1st, so says the French Prime Minister, Jean Castex. He's presented a bill in the National Assembly aimed at establishing a so-called long-term health emergency management regime. Central to it is vaccination, and those opposed to it might just find themselves in trouble, even if they're just planning a trip around the city.
The Prime Minister may, under the plan measures, make the movement of people and their access to transport subject to presenting test results showing that the person is not infected following vaccination or remedial treatment.
According to some politicians, the measure will leave unvaccinated people feeling as though they're second-class citizens.
If this bill has
And that's exactly what I just said in both of these articles. And what more do you want? What more proof do you want? This man is the devil, and that is his goal. Okay, so We're going to get this last bit of scripture, and we're going to close it. Come on. Don't do it to me. All right, here we go. This is Sirach chapter 12, verse 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. We can't trust these people. You can't put your trust in them. Just like it said, they trust to go down to the shadow of Egypt. Okay, you put your trust in the freaking devil, the man who's never been for you. Why they're saying that they want Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to get the vaccine first because their communities have been hit the hardest. But when have they ever done anything for your betterment? Go ahead, I'll wait. Exactly. Okay, verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. Okay, he's trying to deceive you. Okay, when these Edomites getting that, as the scriptures say, when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon you. That's what's going on. It says, and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. You can't take rust off a car. You can take a grinder and grind it off, and then put some primer on it or whatever. But guess what? It's gonna creep back in. The devil is gonna show his horns. His true intentions are gonna come out. It says, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And if thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. Okay, so you can't trust him if you sit next to him and try to take your seat. Alright, his goal is to deceive you and to overthrow you, is the point. Alright, I'm gonna go to 13. It says, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with the serpent, or any such as come nigh, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? So if you come close to a freaking hippopotamus and he crushes your body, or if you're bitten by a snake because you were trying to blow your little flute, who's gonna feel sorry for you? If the so-called white man, if you get Bell's palsy, or if you pass out and fucking die because your dumb ass took the vaccine, who's gonna feel sorry for you? No one. Because we told you to never trust your enemy, who is the so-called white man, who is Esau the devil. No one's going to have pity for you. So with that being said, when we give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Karkadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS, salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are daring the truth, and in sincerity, and the women of the church who follow. Shalom.